When a woman starts ignoring you. When a woman starts ignoring you, the first instinct most men have is to chase harder, explain more, or try every trick in the book to get her attention back. But let me tell you something that might sound counterintuitive. The worst thing you can do is follow that instinct. In fact, when a woman pulls back or goes silent, the last thing you want to do is make the common damaging mistakes so many men fall into. Why? Because every time you try to convince her, chase after her, or explain yourself, you're effectively handing over your power, and it's more obvious than you think. Let's face it. Ignoring someone is a psychological tactic that works. It plays with emotions and creates an imbalance. If you fall for it, if you start reacting impulsively, you're already letting her dictate the terms. That's why we're here today, to break down 5 crucial mistakes men make when a woman ignores them. This isn't about manipulation. It's about self-respect and understanding how attraction really works. Think about it. Desperation and neediness are repulsive. The more you make your life revolve around trying to win her back, the more she'll see you as someone without control, someone chasing validation. Here's what you need to keep in mind. She isn't ignoring you because she doesn't notice. Often she's doing it precisely because she knows you'll react. If you keep following her lead, trying to win her back with every text, call, or apology, you're just confirming her expectations. It's like walking into a trap, only she's not even hiding it. The truth is, many men lose all perspective the moment they feel ignored. It becomes an obsession to regain attention, to fix what they think went wrong. But that's where the real damage happens. When you start changing yourself, sacrificing your self-respect, or seeking validation, you're setting yourself up to be seen as weak and predictable. Instead, you need to understand the power of patience, silence, and self-control. Not everything needs a response. Sometimes, saying nothing says everything. Let's get into it. We're going to cover the 5 biggest mistakes men make when they're ignored by a woman, and why avoiding these pitfalls is the key to keeping control and maintaining respect. If you're ready to understand what not to do and how it can change everything, stick with me. This is about understanding the game and making sure you don't end up on the losing side. 1. Never text her first. When a woman starts ignoring you, your instinct might be to text her to figure out what went wrong or to bring her attention back to you. But here's the controversial truth. The moment you start sending those texts, you've already lost. The key is to never text her when she begins ignoring you. The smartest move is to fall back, disappear, and let her come to terms with the silence you've left in your absence. This isn't about playing hard to get or being aloof. It's about shifting the power dynamic back in your favor. By refusing to reach out, you send a powerful message. You won't settle for being someone's backup plan. Why should you avoid texting first? It shows independence. By not texting, you prove your world doesn't revolve around her. It creates mystery. When you don't immediately reach out, she'll start wondering what you're up to, and curiosity will inevitably grow. Suddenly, you've gone from being readily available to someone she has to think about. This shift is powerful because it flips the narrative. Instead of you chasing her, she'll start thinking about why you're not reaching out. Another reason to avoid texting is that it keeps you from over-explaining yourself. When a woman ignores you, your ego might want to jump in with questions or explanations. Resist the urge to explain. Let your absence speak for itself. If she has any respect for you, your silence will be the wake-up call she needs. Practical example. Imagine she leaves you on read after a seemingly normal conversation. Instead of doubling down with a "Hey, did you see my text?" or "Did I do something wrong?" just stop. Don't text her for a few days. Let her wonder. Maybe she'll start to question herself. Did I miss something? Why did he just go quiet? This silence plants a seed of doubt that works in your favor. By holding back, you create a psychological game of push and pull. When she doesn't hear from you, she might realize you're not someone who chases endlessly, and that realization can be surprisingly powerful. 2. Don't ever beg her. When a woman starts pulling away or ignoring you, the worst thing you can do is beg her to stay. This applies to all relationships, whether it's with your girlfriend, wife, or even family members. Never let yourself fall into the trap of pleading. Begging takes away your power and dignity. It paints you as someone dependent on others for validation. As a man, you need to value yourself enough to walk away if someone doesn't value you in return. Begging sends a message of desperation, that your worth is somehow tied to this person's approval or affection. In relationships, this desperation fast-tracks you to being taken for granted or, worse, disrespected. Think about it. If you beg someone to stay, you're essentially saying you don't believe you're worth staying for on your own merit. This doesn't inspire admiration, attraction, or respect. It inspires pity. And pity isn't what you want from any woman. When you refuse to beg, you're setting a boundary. You're letting her know that if she walks, you're perfectly capable of moving on. A practical example. Imagine your relationship feels like it's slipping and you sense her losing interest. Instead of breaking down, texting her nonstop, or pleading with her to stay, hold your ground. Don't beg. Don't chase. Let her make her decision while you remain firm. The respect she'll have for you, or the regret she'll feel if she leaves, will be far greater than if you had sacrificed your self-worth trying to win her back. By never begging, even in the hardest moments, you're building a foundation of inner strength and respect for yourself and from others. By following these principles, avoiding desperation, holding your ground, and valuing yourself, you shift the dynamic in your favor. Respect starts with how you treat yourself, and nothing is more attractive than a man who knows his worth. Let me know your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's discuss how we can navigate these moments with strength and self-respect. 3. Don't ever convince her. One of the worst things you can do as a man is try to convince a woman to stay when she starts pulling away or ignoring you. It's like throwing away your dignity and self-worth just to hold on to someone who isn't fully invested. This isn't about love or being understanding. It's about recognizing your value. You should never feel the need to beg, plead, or convince anyone to stay in your life. The biggest problem with trying to convince her to stay is that it places all the power in her hands. It's like telling her that without her, you're nothing, that your happiness depends entirely on whether she's around or not. But here's the truth. It shouldn't. You are a whole man on your own. No woman should have the power to make or break your peace, your joy, or your life. If she doesn't see your value, you need to walk away, not chase her. Convincing someone to stay, especially when they're showing signs of indifference or disrespect, creates a power dynamic you should never allow. A woman should never be in control of the relationship by pulling away and seeing how far you'll go to win her back. That's manipulation, not love. A woman who truly values you won't make you feel like you need to convince her of your worth. She'll already know it. By trying to convince her to stay, you lower yourself to a position of weakness. You're offering something she might not even appreciate or want, which leaves you feeling used, rejected, and unfulfilled. Don't go down that road. Instead, stand your ground. Don't make excuses for her behavior. Don't beg. Don't chase. Give her the space she's asking for. If she values you, she'll come back on her own. The mindset you need to have is this: if she's lost interest or isn't respecting you, she has to be the one to realize it. The best thing you can do for yourself is to let go. You don't need to convince anyone that you're worth their time. Let her make the decision. If she truly values what you have together, she'll come back apologetic and clear about what she wants. If she doesn't, you're better off without someone who doesn't appreciate you for who you are. By not convincing her to stay, you ensure that you're not just a placeholder in her life. You create space for her to realize what she's missing. The power always lies in your ability to walk away, not in chasing or convincing her. 4. Don't chase her. Let me break this down for you because too many men don't get it. When you start chasing a woman, especially when she's ignoring you, you instantly lower your own value. Think about it. When you chase someone who isn't reciprocating your effort, you're essentially saying, "I'm not enough as I am. I need to prove my worth to you." That's not only a waste of time, it diminishes you as a man. Chasing a woman does more than hurt your pride. It changes the power dynamic in the relationship. When you constantly chase her, you're saying, "I'm not confident in who I am, so I'll beg for your attention." What does that do to your self-esteem? It destroys it. You start questioning whether you're good enough, whether you're worth her time, and whether you'll ever find someone better. But here's the truth. You are enough. You shouldn't have to chase anyone, least of all someone who's ignoring you. When a woman pulls away, it's not a reflection of your worth. It's a sign that you need to give her space to see what she's truly losing. Chasing her not only pushes her further away, but also makes you seem desperate. Desperation isn't attractive to anyone. When you chase your own value into the dirt. The more you chase, the more you tell her that she can have you anytime, regardless of how she treats you. And when a woman knows she can have you with no effort, she loses respect for you. You need to step back and realize something important. You are the prize. If she's ignoring you or pulling away, let her come back to her senses. Don't keep chasing her. Flip the script. You don't have to be the one running after her all the time. You should be the one who's respected enough that she notices your absence, realizes what she's missing, and comes back to you. The worst thing you can do as a man is think that your value increases by constantly chasing someone. It doesn't. Chasing lowers your worth, your self-respect, and your sense of identity. Stop chasing. Let her realize on her own that you're not going to stick around begging. You're a man who knows what he brings to the table. Let her see that for herself, or let her walk away entirely. You deserve someone who doesn't need convincing to stay. You deserve someone who respects you enough to put in the effort. So stop lowering your value by chasing. Instead, demand that she sees your worth, or you're gone. 5. Don't ever change your plans for her. Let's be real for a second. One of the biggest mistakes you can make when a woman starts ignoring you is changing your plans to accommodate her. This is a huge red flag. Never, under any circumstances, change your plans just to chase her or make her feel better. Here's why. First, when you bend your plans to suit her needs, you're sending a very dangerous message. She comes first. You're showing her that your life, your time, and your priorities are secondary to her whims. And that's not how it should be. You are a man with your own goals, ambitions, and plans. She should fit into your life, not the other way around. The moment you change your plans just to please her or try to win her over, you're essentially saying that you'll drop everything for her, even if she's been ignoring you. This weakens your position. It lowers your value because you've shown that you'll accommodate her no matter how poorly she treats you. No one respects a man who is willing to bend over backward just to get someone's attention. Now, I get it. There's always that temptation to try to fix things when she pulls away. You think, if I just show her that I'm willing to make time for her, she'll see how much I care. But the truth is, that's not how it works. You're not going to convince her to stay by rearranging your life around her. All you're doing is showing her that your time isn't valuable and that you're willing to drop everything when she snaps her fingers. That's not how a man operates. Instead, focus on yourself. Keep your plans. Stick to your routine. Whether it's going to the gym, working on your business, or hanging out with friends. Don't let her disruption change your direction. She's either going to realize what she's missing, or she won't. Either way, your plans should never be contingent on her coming around. This is where a lot of men mess up. They get so obsessed with trying to make things work with a woman who's already checked out that they lose sight of who they are. You are not a backup plan. You are not someone's convenience. Never change your plans just to win her approval. If she's interested, she'll make time for you. If she's not, you've got better things to do than sit around waiting for someone who isn't giving you the attention you deserve. So here's the bottom line. Don't ever change your plans or your life to accommodate her. If she's worth it, she'll meet you halfway. But if she's not, You'll only end up wasting your time chasing someone who's not valuing you. Keep doing you. Keep your plans intact. And remember, your value doesn't go up by bending over backward for anyone. It's your life, and you should be living it for yourself, not for her. Here's the truth no one wants to hear. If she's ignoring you, she's already made her choice. Don't waste your time begging, chasing, or changing everything in your life to win her back. You can't force someone to want you. And if she's not giving you the attention you deserve, it's time to step back and let her see what she's losing. Women don't respect men who don't respect themselves. If you've been running after her while she's ignoring you, you're the one who's lost respect, not her. Let her figure it out. I want to hear from you. Have you ever made these mistakes? What happened when you stopped chasing? Comment below with your experiences, and I'll make sure to reach out and connect. Let's have a real conversation about how to stop letting women dictate your value. You're the prize. Remember that. Thanks, as always, for watching, and as usual, this is the Stoic Life.